Okay, well, boys and girls, we're going to learn how to fold a paper crane here, and this is Mrs. Hartman's way of folding a paper crane. You start with your flat piece of paper, and your very first fold is your diagonal fold. We're going to fold corner to corner, making sure everything is lined up, and our lines and creases are very stiff. We're going to open it back up, turn it, and fold it diagonally the other direction. You now have 4 pieces. When you open it up this time, you should see the 4 pieces, and we're going to flip it over upside down so it looks like a pyramid. Do you see the points standing up right there? We have our pyramid. Our next step is our horizontal fold. So we're going to push our center down. We're going to fold in half like a hamburger, pressing down. We're going to open back up, turn it, and fold the other direction. We now have 8 sections, but we're going to leave it folded this way. And if you have it right, you should have this little duckbill that opens up. We're going to take it, we're going to smush it. This is the smusher flattener. You should see an arrow there. We're going to take each side and fold it down. So now it's flat, and we have a flat piece. We're going to make sure we flatten it out down the center, down all of the edges, and you have a smaller square now. What I'm going to do is there's the side that doesn't open and the side that opens. I'm going to point the side that opens towards me, and now I'm going to do the kite fold. This is a lot like a paper airplane where I'm taking the edge and making a point, lining it up with the center line, and folding it so it has a point, but I only take the top flap. Do you see how there is one flap still down there? So I'm going to do that on this side and on this side. There's the start of your paper airplanes if you've ever made them. And it kind of looks like a kite or an ice cream cone that has a pointed top on it. We're going to flip it over, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Now you can definitely see the kite. That is the kite folder's job. The next job is a real simple one. I'm going to take this top and bend it down, and I'm going to flip it over and bend it exactly the same way. That gives me some nice corners to work with. The next one is a little bit tricky. This is called the alligator opener. You're going to have to watch very closely, and you're going to have 2 opportunities to do this, one on each side. I'm going to open the flaps of the kite. I'm going to take the mouth of the alligator and open it. See how we have an alligator mouth. And then I'm going to fold on the lines that are already there. I'm not making any new lines or folds, but I end up with a great big diamond when I'm done. We're going to flip that over. We're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to open that alligator mouth again by opening up the kite flaps. The top layer, see that alligator mouth opening up? It's going to, if I put my fingers right on each corner where the bends are, it's going to be a whole lot easier to try and get it to lay down on the folds that I've already made. And you should have 2 diamonds back to back, and I always want to straighten out and make my points as nice as possible because that'll make my final crane much better. The next step is, right now we have the 2 legs that go walking, and they're a little fat. So we're going to skinny those legs up by again doing that paper airplane fold, lining it up with the center and making a nice point, but only on the top side. We're going to do that on each side here so that you have a smaller diamond on top of a larger diamond. Now I need to flip that over and do exactly the same thing. Make that smaller diamond on top of that. And should all line up, and you see how I have nice points there. And I have these legs that go walking. I'm going to then take my wings and fold them, and you can see this triangle right here. You want to see a big triangle, not a little teeny tiny triangle, but a large triangle. Fold that wing down as far as I can, and on the other side, do exactly the same thing. That's a pretty easy step too. Now we're to the part of finishing it off. I'm going to pinch the whole crane on one side. I'm going to open up the wing, and you can see this long triangle diamond that's it's really a diamond, not a triangle, pointing down, and you can see this fold that's right here. I'm going to take that long diamond and fold it up on that fold that's there and pull it up as high as it can be. So instead of it pointing at the table, it's now pointing to the sky. And then I'm going to close that in right there. I'm going to pinch the other side where I just folded it, open up the other side. Again, I have that long point that goes down. Instead of pointing it at the table, I'm going to point it right up at the sky and close that up. Now you have 2 points going right to the sky. One is the head, one is the tail. Take one, bend it over somewhat, and you have your head. Put your hands underneath, you have your wings, and there is your paper crane. Congratulations, you've made your first paper crane.